Welcome to Speed Scene Live TV, the only show dedicated to the sportsman racer. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, Hedman Hustler Headers, M&H Tires, and TheFote.com. With your hosts, Diana Might, Bruce Barker, Scott Lucky Hudson, Alex Roggio, Bob Beck, Bryant Layton, with Donnie Couch and Darr Hawthorne.
And welcome to tonight's broadcast, Speed Scene Live. The live part says it all. I'm that Bruce Barker guy previously mentioned. There's Diana Might.
Welcome.
And there's Lucky Hudson.
Yay, Bruce!
And also in the studio tonight is Hot Rod Bob Beck. Man, we got that great American auto scene and so much more coming up and so much to talk about. You know what? I'm going to just mention this just because we got to talk about what's going on tonight for the show. We got some interviews fresh from the Irwindale Circle Track. Is that what I said?
That's right. She's back in business.
That's what you're seeing. The next event, by the way, is coming up April 27th, just so you know.
And I think Roger Gustin has the Mardi Gras race coming up, doesn't he, Diana?
He does, actually. It's going to be the Night of Fire race at State Capitol Raceway, May 3rd to the 5th. That's in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Lucky.
Hey, you know, we're going to try to get Roger Gustin on the show to talk about that event, and we're working on that right now.
And this coming weekend, it's the ANRA opener up at famous Famoso Raceway, and it's going to have that free barbecue. The awards are going to be presented with the Butchies and the racing and more. I mean, ANRA's opener, it's a not-to-miss event up in Bakersfield at Famoso Raceway.
Nice.
Hey, I want to thank Brett Big Swag Wagner. You know, he was on the Sam Oxer Jr. radio show yesterday with me and spent a half hour talking with me and Sam and had a great time. Had Rick on there too. Tonight we are going to talk about the installation of the new oil filter from LAT Racing Oils. LAT is a company that's come up with some great products, some great lubricants, and we're going to install this fantastic oil filter. You know, I showed it on the show a couple times. Tonight you get to see it go on the Curry Rear Ends Hedman Hustler Header Nova.
Nice. You know, Lucky, I cannot believe that the Long Beach Grand Prix is coming up Friday through Sunday. Is that this
Already?
Friday through Sunday, Bob?
Oh, man.
Hard to believe. And you're going to be there, aren't you?
You know I am. I'm going to be there with Racers Who Care. We're going to be doing a bunch of tours with kids. We're going to be showing them the world of motorsports and teaching them to stay in school, work hard, stay out of trouble. And if they do all those things, there's a bunch of things they can do. They'll could become a racer.
Nice. Hey, Dynamite, tell us about Great Bend, Kansas. I know things are popping.
Well, Great Bend, Kansas, they're going to have their inaugural NHRA Sunflower National Open. That's going to be on April 27th through the 28th. Speed Scene Live. Well, we're going to be there for the Great Bend this June, racing and filming the Speed Scene Live Nationals. We had an awesome time last year. There's going to be 3 big days, and you're going to get your chance to have your car on TV. We're going to be doing interviews, filming, racing, and more. And Scotty Richardson's even going to be there.
Hey, I'm seeing some, I hate to interrupt. I'm seeing film crews right here on the screen. What are we looking at here?
That's right. This is One and Done. And I want to thank the folks from One and Done. I was actually on their show last Thursday night, and they played our segment. And earlier in the intro there, you saw Wilson Racing, and they were out there doing their deal. Now we can talk about it. I didn't want to show too much film because I wanted to wait until after they aired the segment. But tonight we've got a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff we're going to show. We've got some footage that we're going to show, and you're going to see the race, and you're going to find out who's going to win.
Oh, that's going to be nice. Now, Diana might mention Scotty Richardson. He's going to be at the Speed Scene Live Nationals doing a class. We've been talking about this. If you want more info, it's as easy as this. Keep, of course, your Speed Scene Live feed running, but visit this on the web, schooledbyscotty.com. Schooledbyscotty.com.
I'm going to have to get educated.
Yeah, it's educated.
That's right.
Hey, Hot Rod Bob, you're here for the Great American Auto Scene, aren't you?
I am, and we're going to be talking about a great new restored dragster. We've got Jeff DeGranis. We had him on our show just a few weeks ago. His dragster, the Dragmaster car, has been fully restored. It's ready to go race, and he's going to be hitting some local races with that.
Oh, man. So that's coming up. And by the way, Bryant Layton has got the off-road report tonight, and there's some pretty special stuff going on. So I think he's talking with B.J. Baldwin tonight. We're going to check in with Bryant Layton in a while and see what's going on for the off-road report.
That's right. Brian Layton will be on the off-road report, now sponsored by GotBypass.com. Check out the new line of sports apparel at GotBypass.com. Bruce, bring up line one, and I would like to talk to Mark Walters. Mark, how you doing today?
What's going on, Lucky?
Man, you guys are filming everywhere, and you guys are doing a great job. Where are you at right now?
Well, I am sitting on the shores of the mighty Mississippi in the Tom Sawyer RV Park. We are getting ready to head to Holly Springs for their second annual shootout for some outlaw drag radio, some X275, Mean Street, Leaf Spring, and a couple of index classes this coming weekend. Should be some killer racing.
Nice, nice. Now, you guys always have stuff going on. Where can people go to find out where your stream is and to watch what you're showing?
MotorManiaTV.com. MotorManiaTV.com. Or if you go over the live stream and just do a search for Motormania TV, you'll find us there too.
Nice. And if anybody hasn't checked out Mark Walters' deal, he is the best guy for doing live streams. I've been at the Yellow Bullet Nationals. I saw you. You had multiple cameras set up all down the track. You did shots of the burnout box, the starting line, the finish line.
Fancy.
You had all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah, well, we of course, we can't compete with ESPN, but we are trying to give sportsman drag racing the exposure they deserve, and we come in at a price point that's affordable for a lot of the associations and promoters out there. And this is all about the racers. We are drag racers. I've been drag racing for almost 40 years now and involved in it one way or another. And when we started this deal, it was all about getting these folks exposure, and it's just worked out really well.
Well, now, aren't you also retired military?
Yes, I am. I did. I spent almost 30 years in the United States Air Force.
Wow.
And retired. Actually, it's been almost 10 years now. It's hard to believe. And it's like another lifetime ago. So, but I spent 30 years. I was a flight engineer. That's the guy that sits behind the pilots. You don't see too many of us anymore. We're kind of extinct. We're like navigators.
Now they have computers.
By computers.
Yeah. Well, we're huge supporters of all of the armed forces. We support all the military, and I personally grew up as an Air Force brat. My dad was career Air Force, and that's one reason why your stuff is so good, because the Air Force, they always say, we don't want excuses, we want results. And that's your stream, Mark. They get excellent, high-quality stuff with no BS.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We work pretty hard at this. This is what we do for a living, and we're just going to try and make it better. The live stream program, I'll tell you, the support there, talking with those folks, the ability to go in and just grab a clip and pull it out almost instantaneously. I can stop. It's got the DVR function. You can stop. I can pull it up. I can back it up. I can cut that piece out and have it on Facebook in 2 or 3 minutes, literally, to where it's being, sent out to the world. And then of course the embed function and everything else. Their platform, I'm telling you, for kind of dragging my feet, moving over there. We're really tickled that we're there now.
Yeah, well, we dragged our feet too. This is iffy stuff, you're talking about, Mark, because it's, it's a big deal. You got a lot of viewers, and you don't want to disappoint. And we're learning that lesson too in terms of the helpfulness at live stream. So good for you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mark, thanks a lot. So this weekend they can catch you there. What about next weekend? Where are you going to be then?
We will be at the XDRL race at Bristol, and that should be a barn burner too. Really looking forward to even more cars there than this last race, and that'll be a Friday Saturday deal. They'll be back on their normal Friday Saturday schedule. They did the Saturday Sunday thing at Tulsa, but it's and then a couple weeks off, and then we're right back at it. Mid-May with the spring fling for Kyle and Peter, and then just on to more big. more drag racing in both brackets and the heads-up stuff.
No, great. Mark, thanks for calling in. Appreciate it. And you keep in touch. Call in again and let us know where you're going to be next.
All right, sounds good. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Well, we've got a bunch of footage from the Irwindale track, but Diana, you have a celebrity on the phone
I
there.
do. Let's go to line 2 and welcome Jeff DeGrandis. Jeff, welcome to Speed Scene Live.
Oh, hi, everybody. Hey, thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah.
You know, Jeff, I understand that you had a special event happen just recently, and it was a memorable event, and you made a little bit of noise.
I did. I definitely did. You know, I had the first public appearance of my Dragmaster, my 62 Dragmaster, here at Nickelodeon Studios last Friday evening. Mm-hmm. And it went over really, really well, and there was a lot of people here, and you know, a lot of animators, and they had a handful of racers here, and it was quite a memorable event that I'll never forget. Anyway, I don't think anyone else here will forget it either.
We've got some great photos of it showing right now. As you're talking, we've got some great photos of you, and you know,
there's a photo of you and Hot Rod Bob.
Oh yeah,
and Hot Rod Bob. Hi, Bob.
Look at that. How you doing, Jeff?
Fine, buddy. How are you?
I am great. Had a great time there at Nickelodeon.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, you know, we everyone had a great time, and you know, people that weren't really familiar here with my other side that, you know, does all the Ed Roth stuff and I do my drag thing stuff and all that other kind of crazy stuff, or know that I even had the Dragmaster, you know, and it worked out really good. And boy, when I rolled that thing in here Friday morning, you know, first of all, I've never towed a dragster before, but it was kind of cool coming down the freeway and everyone was looking at it, and they were really surprised when I rolled that thing through the front gate here on Olive Avenue.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that car looked fantastic, and Corey was there. I believe Corey's going to be calling in a little bit from now, and we're going to talk a little bit about the car and the build and maybe get some history on the car. I understand you bought it up in Colorado a few years back.
I did. You know, I found it in 2006, early 2006. I found it on eBay with no bids on it, and I knew it was a master. And you know, from the mid '70s, I've always raced stockers back in Englishtown, where I grew up, back in New Jersey, and you know, I did stock eliminator and some super stock stuff, and then I said, well, it'd be cool to have a dragster. So I found this thing, and I made a deal with the guy, and the guy met me halfway down inside Arizona, and I had rented a truck with my son and picked up the car and brought it back home to Southern California again.
All right, well, you know, Corey's just called in, and he's here with us. Corey?
Yeah, hi, how you doing?
We're doing good. We got
hi, Corey.
Now.
Well, you know,
Hey, Jeffy.
might as well get going
Might
with
as
your
well.
gas,
We're gonna give you
Bob.
gas
Give
right
him a
now.
little gas. You got a couple people there to help you along the way.
Yeah, so we're going to start gas just a bit early. Corey's on the phone. Now, Corey, what was your role with helping Jeff get this car done?
Well, Jeffy brought me the car and in my shop, and basically it was a roller, no drive line, and we, you know, began the restoration and, you know, did some modifications. We found out later, worked with Dode, and you know, did all the engine and chassis mount, restoring all the you know, the tubing that was damaged, you know, over the years, and then we ended up lengthening the chassis because we found out from Dode, awesome Dode.
Awesome Dode.
Awesome Dode,
Awesome,
yes.
that be Jeffy, that darn Dode, you know. But yeah, I mean, he you know, sent us a blueprint. Had awesome experience with Dode. He helped us out. Found out what the, you know, the chassis apparently was custom built, you know, for somebody back in '62 approximately. And we lengthened the chassis to the exact specs of the blueprints that Dode sent us.
Wow.
And
He had the
helped
blueprints
us,
for
and-
it still?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was complete blueprints. It was like 3 or 4 pages of blueprints that pretty much broke their pipe by pipe, and, you know, tube by tube, diameter-wise, length-wise. It was like taking apart a model car and having it all laid out in a blueprint. It's an amazing-looking thing.
Now, a lot of people have run Dragmaster chassis. It was the state-of-the-art chassis, and they mass-produced them for people. It wasn't just a one-off thing. As you say, you've got blueprints on it, and a lot of people ordered it. Moon Equipment, Mickey Thompson, all had drag masters.
Yeah, absolutely. They were almost like they built the chassis and they did custom deals, but they basically tried to make it like a mass production, and it was almost like building a kit car. Here you go, here's the base, and you build it.
Okay, now we've got a shot coming up on screen right now. It's Mickey Thompson sitting in his car, and it's powered by one of the Tempest 4-cylinders.
Oh, look! Is that the shot? I'm not seeing it on right now, but is that the shot of him with was that the
station
the
wagon
Pontiac,
next
right?
to it?
Yeah, he's got the big Pontiac, the 59 Bonneville wagon right alongside, or whatever they call the big wagon at that time. Now, you got into the history of these things. You know the history. When did Dode start building these chassis?
Well, they started. They had two chassis. They had that one called the Mark IV chassis, which was more the square chassis,
right?
And then they came out with the Dragmaster Dart chassis, which was more the tapered front, like I have.
Right.
And those came out around '62, and they just wanted something that were a little bit more leaner and meaner, and that could adapt different engine platforms a lot easier for racers who just want competition, whether you're running a nitro car or whatever. And they were very successful. And they were very lightweight, too.
Now, when they ran their car, they had a wedge Mopar in it. And it was a killer car. I mean, didn't it, I believe it won Winter Nationals in 1962.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. That was that blown 440, and they were real famous for running that, that combination. And even if you look at the blueprints, I mean, that was their main package.
Hey, Corey, you guys, isn't that the one that's in the NHRA museum? Isn't it? That
yeah, the gold.
That's the one that's in there right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and here we've got a picture of it on the screen right now. But I'm not sure it's got the that may be the Chrysler motor in it. But their gold was their factory color.
Yeah, gold was the factory color. So I thought it was important. I was talking over this with Corey and all that. To retain as much of the original feel of nostalgia with that car as humanly possible. With given some of the updates and stuff that we put inside it, but down to like wire ties, which Dode and all them used. Black tape, so it's like, what do you want to do? Well, we're going to use black tape just like those guys. And
it worked.
Yeah.
Well, black tape, we like black
tape. I remember meeting a guy that built a car that they wouldn't allow him to use rubber lines for the fuel lines because they had changed the rules. So what he did was he got braided steel line and then had rubber line put on the outside, so it still looked like a rubber line.
Yeah,
that sneaky person.
Yeah.
All right, so Jeff, you've got the car running now. What are the plans for it?
The plan is to run nostalgic exhibition runs is what I want to do with it. Nothing heavy with it. It's all been certified. Corey, the NHRA, Pat came out to the shop out there and certified the car. It was certified in the 7s, which I'll never go that fast with it. But I want to take care of it and do nice exhibition runs, do some nice burnouts with it, and just have fun with the machine and use the car the way it was designed and built to be. Like drag racing is supposed to be a lot of fun, and that's what I would like to do with it.
So you're going to make some passes, eat some barbecue,
yes,
draw some pictures,
yes,
and hang out with your friends.
That is correct.
And then go home with a smile.
Yes, and I can put a drawing board right on the cowl of the car, and I can draw cartoons while I go down the track.
Wow.
Well, we'll start calling you Quick Draw.
Hey, what's the story on that scoop?
There you go. It's just it's for show and go and just to have a lot of fun with, and the people of drag racing and all the fans and everyone. It's such a cool crowd, and anyone who's not familiar with it, like here when it was at the studio, they just dig it so much. It's just another art. It's an artistic. It is an art form, and you're building something that represents you as a designer and you as a person.
Hey, Bruce just went back to a photo and. Isn't that Tommy Ivo in the photo right there in the middle?
Good old TV Tommy.
And isn't that I always forget her first name, but Orame. It's right next to him.
Oh, yeah.
And then Robin Millar on the other side of me.
Yeah.
And then Henry, the guy that took a bunch of pictures about your car as well.
Henry Coda.
Now, a lot of the photos like this one is from Pam and Daryl Conrad. Mm-hmm. And they've got a website where they do a lot of race photography, all the nostalgia stuff.
They are two of the nicest people I know, and it's like everyone's super cool and super nice, but those two are just fabulous people, and they're so talented too.
All right, Burbank Fuel Injection and Carburetor did 3 deuces for this.
Yeah, Dave Ackert at Burbank Speed and Machine built a motor down there. I went to the Long Beach junkyard and I found a '67 motor that's never been touched, a 327, and brought that back to the shop and started building it from there. And found old '63 Corvette fuelie heads for it, and then I found an awesome 3-deuce setup for it, and it's like, wow, that would work really good, and it was built in dyno down there, and that's where the motor came out of.
It sounds great. You fired it up in the courtyard of Nickelodeon. Woke up everybody.
They were really startled too.
Yeah, I bet
How did
they
that
were.
work out? How did that work out, Jeff?
Well, they wanted they really wanted it to run as little as possible because it's. They were afraid that the windows were going to blow out in the building that it was parked next to, and then the animation paper would fly all over the place, and so we had to control that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Corey, did you just say you almost blew his head off or something?
Blew his head off.
His hat.
Corey, you're so crazy.
I don't think we've ever seen him without his hat.
No, but thanks to Pam Conrad, I have seen his hat and his glasses without him
on the
fabulous shot.
Yeah, great
That's
shot.
because I was blown onto the roof somewhere.
And now, what's the story with that hood scoop? Is that I'm not familiar with that style.
I'll tell you what happened is, first of all, Corey built that, and what I did was this: that was inspired from Ohio George Montgomery's 33 Willys gasser, and I said, man, that is a cool little scoop on that thing, and I said those 3 deuces need something to top that off, just to balance out the look of that car, and it just looks too cool. So I built a cardboard template and brought it to Corey, and Corey he built this cool scoop, and it fit the Rochesters really, really nicely. And by the way, Corey did all the fabrication of the body by hand.
Wow.
And he did the belly pan. He built everything.
Talented.
And he is just one of the greatest
scoop for the radiator
ever.
I think that scoop is there because it's a great place to put drag fink on.
Yes,
it's a good place. It stands out. Everybody can see it.
Well, thank you,
absolutely.
Diana.
You got a rolling billboard.
There you go.
But I have to say this while I'm on the air with Corey. Maintained, and he added so much as a genius type of fabricator and artist that he is. He kept that nostalgic feel for that car and added to the vision of that thing, and he just has done anything that he puts his hands on is just he does a great job. I have to say that while I'm on the air with you guys.
You're going to make
Corey,
his
knock it off because you know it's true now. Stop.
You're going to make his head swell.
And then the hat won't fit. Oh, wait, that's the other guy.
No, that's Corey. Now, Corey, do you have a shop?
Well, I'm basically semi-retired on my ranch, and I have a shop here at the house, and I'm just doing, 1 or 2 small projects and engines, at a time.
Oh, okay. So this was kind of like a favor to your friend, helping him out with this car.
Well, it's still my passion, and I still have my engine room, and I still, build and, work with a lot of, my main deal is the off-road engines. And deal with a lot with the off-road guys and my drag racing, and so I still am involved with that. But my passion is still in fabrication and resto mod, hot rods, and so I still try and maintain at least 1 or 2 projects at a time.
And Corey, if someone wanted to get in touch with you, how would they do that?
Well, basically, just give me a jingle, You fly
the helicopter over the top of his house and drop him in.
That's it, ride your pony over here and come up on the ranch and, join us.
Now, what is the best way, Corey, to get a hold of you?
The best way, just reach me by phone. I don't know if I can say that on the air.
Sure, you can.
Well, do you have a website or a Facebook page or something?
No, not anymore. Since I retired. But absolutely, it's 661-209-0436.
And you do have a Facebook page.
What was that, Jeff?
He does have a Facebook page, too.
Yeah, he's still. Yeah,
absolutely.
You don't want me speaking for yourself, Corey. I mean, you have a pretty unique page, right?
Absolutely, or they can just go to Hotwire at Hotmail.
Oh.
Corey's so nonchalant, and here Jeff is. He's talking you up, Corey. Take advantage of this.
It's been a roller coaster ride with Jeff, and he is such. He makes my cheeks hurt every time we get together. And
You mean from smiling? Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Diana, you're
Let's
so
go ahead
nutty.
and define that.
Burbank, not West Hollywood. Okay. Anyway, moving right along. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for calling in. Jeff, it's always a pleasure talking with you. Corey, it was great meeting you the other night when we had the unveiling at Nickelodeon.
Absolutely, Bob and Diana and Scott, just everybody there. It's been great. It was wonderful meeting y'all. And hey, Bob, you still owe me that autograph.
Yeah, I'll get that for you. No problem, Corey. And thanks for sharing your gas with us.
Y'all take care.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
take care.
Hey, take care, you guys.
Take
Bye,
care,
guys.
Jeff. Thanks
Okay,
for
bye,
calling.
you guys.
Bye-bye.
Hey, we got a commercial break coming up, but we're going to shift gears and we're going to get out onto the circle track. In fact, let's talk to Uli Perez, who's racing the Telemundo car out at the Irwindale track. And Uli's going to tell us a little bit about the return of circle track racing at Irwindale, and they've got an event coming up on the 27th, and he will be racing there. Let's talk with him right now.
Hey, Donnie Couch here on assignment for Speed Scene Live. You can hear the cars in the background. We're at Irwindale Raceway, and after an absence of 1 year of no racing, we're back to racing. And I'm here with Uli Perez here. Uli, what do you think of the track reopening?
Man, I'm excited to get behind the wheel there.
Well, you came from go-karts to trucks and now to this S2 class?
Yeah, you forgot legend cars. I did legend cars and bandoleros and moved up to the super trucks, and now we're doing the S2 series.
Wait, did he say I forgot Legends cars? Is he trying to correct me? I just met the guy. He's trying to correct me. What am I going to be? That's John Force imitation anyway. But so you got some sponsors here. It looks like Telemundo. You want to talk about some of your other sponsors?
Yeah, we have Telemundo. They came aboard again They came aboard last year. Unfortunately, the track closed, and then they came aboard this year, and they knowing that the track was reopening. I want to thank them very much for helping us throughout the couple of years that we've had with them. Yoli's Mexican Kitchen, Sparco, Versailles Cuban Food, and K1 Speed, of course.
Cuban food, does that mean, is there any Cuban cigars in the trailer?
Well, I can't tell you that.
Well, we're going to find out because we got to do an interview in the trailer, right? But seriously, K1 Speed, they're not only a sponsor, but you're working there, right?
Yeah, that's actually my primary sponsor in life here. So they pay all the bills to help us get out on the track and support us here.
And what do you do for them? You open a lot of the tracks and manage those?
Yeah, I've been with K1 Speed for about going on 7 years now. So since their second location, now we're up to 13. We're going to be up to 18 locations here pretty soon. So I pretty much, my job is to go and open and train new people and get the operational.
You're going to be racing what night? Your opening night will be?
Our opening night's April 27th. This is the first time the S2 Series actually makes its debut here at Irwindale.
So this weekend, it's the first weekend they're open. They got 14 races scheduled, I believe. And we're going to be here every night on Saturday night. The gates open at 5. They start racing at 7. And, it's only $15 to get in. The kids from 5 to 12 years old, I think they're only $5. And under 5, they're free. So bring everybody down. We're reopening the track, and let's support this track.
Well, that was a great interview with Uli Perez and the Telemundo 52 car. And, Donnie was out talking to a lot of the racers. Ryan Partridge, he did an interview with again, and we've got that coming up. And Darr Hawthorne, well, let's find out what Donnie had to say to Darr about Irwindale.
A Darr and Donnie show, Speed Scene Live.
We're back.
Hey, we're back. Hey, but Darr, we're not at the drag races.
This is a different kind of racing. It happens on a circle.
Can we do that? Are we allowed to do that?
You can do it on asphalt or dirt or however you want to do it, but circle racing is a great way to spend a Saturday night and entertain your family. It's a lot better than going into a dark theater with a movie.
Especially with you.
Well, you know, how that goes.
Hey, seriously, though, you know, I know we're drag racers and we cover all that stuff. This is kind of fun. It's in our backyard. You get a lot of different classes. This is like grassroots racing out here.
This is a great sportsman racing, and the guys who race trucks, the guys who race the super late models, the bandoleros, there's just so much incredible competition out here. It's tight. These guys work their asses off, and this is all coming out of their pocket. There's very little sponsorship out here. This is real sportsman racing at its best in Southern California.
And, of course, they're going to be racing 14 races this summer, Saturday night. Gates open at 5, start racing at 7. Come on out here and support this local track. Of course, meet the famous Darr Hawthorne. He'll be out here every week.
Almost every week.
Come on, Darr. You made a commitment here.
I know, but I got to go to Boise for the Nightfire Nationals. I got a lot of drag racing to do, too.
He's a busy guy, ladies and gentlemen, but he's here at Irwindale Speedway.
We'll be back right after this with the GotBypass.com off-road report with Brian Layton and BJ Baldwin. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a flash.
Hi, I'm Chad Head, and you're watching Speed Scene Live.
For over half a century, Currie rear-end components have been twisting out the torque and taking the punishment. And the new Currie lineup is stronger than ever. Some of the world's most capable, hardest-working vehicles depend on Currie gears, which is why you can too. Street cars, hot rods and resto rods, drag cars, rock-crawling four-wheel drive vehicles, whatever you're piloting, Currie expertise and rock-solid design means the parts will do their job, so you can do yours. Check out Currie's custom rear ends, featuring a full line of upgrades, components, and installation options. The Currie Crate rear ends lineup offers ultra-strong construction on third members and carrier assemblies. And other underside parts, like correct link steering systems, keep your four-wheeler pointed where you want it. Add in a wide variety of solid, purpose-built suspension and brake components, and you've got one tough, ready-to-go machine. Grab a hold of a Currie rear end. Talk to the experts at 714-367-2679 or view the complete line online at currieenterprises.com. Welcome back to more of Speed Scene Live, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Currie Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, and thefote.com.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Lucky. Diana Mite's on the phone talking to BJ Baldwin. Bruce is over there. Bob Beck's hitting the fridge. We're all here. And, hey, coming up later tonight, the LAT Racing Oil Filter Review. Hey, Bob. We're going to show you how we put that on the Speed Scene Live Nova. And this weekend is the ANRA season opener, and you can watch it live at quartermileproductions.net.
Now I know the show is live.
You catch me running back from the phone. You catch Bob running back from God knows what.
Bruce can't run because his leg's bad.
Yeah, pan over and show. Oh, look at the crutches are just out of the shot. Maybe that was planned.
We've got to get wheels for his.
But right now, it's time for the GotBypass.com off-road report with Brian Layton. Diana, might bring these gentlemen on the show, will
I'd
you?
like to bring Bryant Layton and BJ Baldwin. Gentlemen, welcome to Speed Scene Live.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, BJ, this is Brian. Real fast, well, we got a little time. Once again, you know, you had you on the show a couple times. You're now a 5-time off-road trophy truck champion.
Wow.
And you did something that's a little bit, it got everybody in the off-road community kind of really jumping up at it. Tell us a little bit about this video that we're going to show here in a little bit.
Well, you know, it's
it's inspired by some of Kim Block's videos, his Gymkhana series. I'm very good friends with Kim. I wanted to do something similar to the videos that he's doing that kind of displays the ability of his race vehicle. So he's done videos that that obviously display the capabilities of his rally car. I wanted to do something similar that display the abilities of a trophy truck, and this video is different in a sense that in a sense from the Gymkhana videos because it's kind of got kind of a storyline, and we wanted to add a little bit more ingredients in it. We basically the storyline goes, I'm out for a test session. This girl's broke down in the middle of the desert, and I end up picking her up and taking her to Las Vegas. And in the process of all that, obviously, we do a bunch of stunts and jumps like that. So
who hasn't done that?
Yeah, I know, right?
Especially on city streets like
all
this.
The time.
I know, we're seeing this.
BJ calls that a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And you like to drive in circles, too, I see.
I can't believe you did this on the street, man.
Yeah, BJ, a lot of the street scenes weren't even closed.
How long did it actually take for you guys to film this? I know it's filmed by the guys at Tent Media, and we've done a lot of films before with Brian Moore, who's part of Tent Media, actually great, video guy. But how long did it take you guys to actually make this whole video?
You know what? It depends on how you look at it. As far as shooting, we were shooting it. We had originally planned on shooting it for 5 days. We ended up losing a head gasket in the engine and had to change motors out, which took 2 days. Obviously, we had to get some parts together and pull a motor and put a new race motor back in, which was a catastrophic start to trying to get all this filming done. But total filming, I think we were in it 5 or 6 days. The planning in my head was, ever since I saw Gymkhana 1, I wanted to do it, but I never got the opportunity.
Sorry.
You just jumped over the girl.
That was great.
Yeah.
But just to get everything planned and organized, it took about 40 days.
Jeez.
Now, did you guys go to Monster and come to Monster with this idea, saying this is what I want to do? Are you guys on board? How did the whole with Monster? It's one of your big sponsors, and they're also a sponsor of the video. How did that come across? Was they present to you, or you presented to them?
Well, I presented to them. Most of their other athletes, they dip into the marketing budget. Monster kind of has a marketing budget, and they ask for stuff to do different events or different things. A lot of them are videos or new livery releases and stuff like that. And since I've been there, this is my 3rd year there, I've never really asked for any of that. And everybody at Monster, they take really good care of me, and we're all really tight. And they all love what I do for their desert racing program. So I was like, what? It originally started as, let's take a picture of me jumping over my car, and I'll post it on social media, Instagram, Twitter, and whatnot. And Brian Moore was like, "No, you're stupid. You can't do that. Don't be an idiot. If we're gonna do this, do it right.
Yeah,
and let's
someone else's
do video."
car.
If I had a nickel for every time somebody said, "No, you're stupid. You're an idiot," I'd be rich.
Well, that's just Brian, the way he is. He's sitting there thinking, "No, we need to film it, not take a picture. Let's do this." I mean, Brian, like I said, is an amazing, video guy. So I think he was thinking the whole thing.
Oh yeah, no, he saw the bigger picture, and I was like, "No, you don't understand. Everybody will love it." He's like, "No, you don't understand." So I'm like, "All right."
You just covered the cameraman and the model.
With dirt.
I love it.
And the girl's clapping. Was that her competition?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's in the truck where it's safe. Maybe.
That scene I kind of put in there for all the desert racers, because it's kind of cliche that all the lots of models go out to the dry lake bed or go out to the desert and do some modeling stuff. And it seems like every time we go test out there's always some photographer yelling at us for making too much dust. So that's why I put that scene in there.
Oh, that was great.
That's what we do.
Now, how did the girl that was your passenger take the ride?
You know what? She loved it. She was actually a lot of fun to work with. She had a lot of trust in me. You know, originally it was like, okay, I'm supposed to jump over my car, and some girls are going to be standing next, and then they're telling me that they want me to jump over her, and then they're trying to get her to act like she was getting service. So
what exactly does that mean?
You mean on the cell phone?
Yeah, like on the cell phone.
Okay, okay. Let's define that.
I was like, I totally missed that part of the video.
So I mean, it was tough. I mean, the hardest part of the video was jumping over her because, you know, it's a human life that's underneath you.
Yeah.
And so pretty much whenever I got lined up for the jump, I had to jump over like 10 or 12 times just to get all the shots. Mm-hmm. So every time I got lined up for the jump, I just went as far as I can go, because that was like the most stressful thing for me. Mm-hmm. Most of the other stuff was pretty simple, and, you know, just put the camera here and let's do this, or let's do that.
And it looks like you missed her by like 50 or 60 feet. I mean, seriously, we just got a great angle of it, and I mean, you jumped way over her. You did a great job.
Did people call and you said, "I'm sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm jumping a hot model 10 or 12 times."
I'm jumping a hot model in my other car in my trophy truck.
Trophy truck.
Once again, it's Tuesday in BJ Baldwin's life.
It's Tuesday.
At least for now, yeah.
No, BJ, what's the plan on the film? Do you have any plans for making another one? I mean, you guys are already over 2.5 million views. You hit, I think it was, over 1 million views in the first week alone?
Wow.
I mean, it's definitely still going. What are you guys planning on for the second one?
Actually, you know, we're brainstorming with lots of different ideas.
Twins?
But twins would be nice to start going to one more person.
I'm talking about turbos.
You men all think alike. My goodness.
Well, you know what you can do is pick another Nissan and actually land on it.
That could get more expensive.
Don't those rental cars sell insurance?
Yeah. We didn't have insurance for the GTR. No, but we definitely want to make another one. This one was obviously very successful. I mean, we kind of modeled it after Robbie Madison's aircraft. That was originally our goal, was to beat that, and we actually beat it in the first week. We got most of our views in the first week. We got 2 million in the first week, which is way over what we thought it was going to be. We thought it was going to be 500,600,000. But it was very, very successful. Monster helped a lot with it being successful. All my fans.
Now we're having a lot of fun joking around, but this is the type of thing that, on a serious note, that really is a great cross-marketing tool and gets people that maybe hadn't really thought about watching off-road racing, and they hear about this buzz and they watch this video and they see the off-road and they're entertained and there's pretty girls and there's a little story going on. And don't you think this is a great promotional tool, not only for your sponsors but for off-road racing in general?
Well, yeah, that was originally our first goal. I mean, everybody in America has a lot more respect for rally racing because of what Ken Block has been able to do in a rally car on these viral videos, and that was my first goal, because I think, you know, as a desert racer, as an off-road racer, I think we were kind of the best kept secret in motorsports, because I don't think any other race, and I've driven all the other race cars, you know, except for like a top fuel car, and I don't think any other race car is as cool as a trophy truck, just in the sense of like how many different dimensions you have, how many different surfaces you run over. You never see the same turn twice. You can jump them 200 feet. You know, they're ridiculous, and I wanted to make the world more aware of how awesome off-road racing is.
Now, some people are probably going to say that this was all done in digital form, but you actually jumped the gal.
Right, it wasn't fake.
Well, he said like 10 times.
Yeah, 10 times. Just practiced it.
Not just once, 10 times.
Yeah.
So, and BJ and Bryant both, it's Tempt Media that does the helicopter work with it. It looks like they have a little Robinson, like an R-22 or something or other, and that's their crew in the helicopter too, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Tempt Media does. They do great work.
Man,
I've been friends with B-More for a long time, and they were very, very professional to work with, and they did a great job editing the film.
Man, amazing.
Great. Some of the shots and the way you drove the car, the handling of that truck is amazing.
God, it's on the street.
Yeah, on the
It's
street.
ridiculous.
That what looks like a little dam or
yeah, with the stair step things on.
And you were get the thing nice and get the back end hanging out just enough.
Yeah, that was a funny shot. I was looking at that and like my daily driver, I went there because I know that's a place that I used to like target practice and stuff, and I thought to myself, well, I could jump over that. That would be pretty cool. And I got to there, and I got in the truck, and it wasn't really like a big deal. So we had to do some creative cinematic shots to make it look a little bit bigger than it was.
Yeah.
If it was like twice as big and like an actual challenge to jump down into, that's what I would have, preferred. But it ended up being a really cool shot.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
Very, very nice. Well, BJ, you got the Baja 500 coming up. That's going to be your next race?
Yeah, the 500's my next race.
Nice, and everybody can that follows you on Instagram. You seem to get a lot of great fans. And, we really appreciate the shout-outs for the show tonight you've been doing on all the different social media. When are you going to start going down and doing your pre-running? Because we all love seeing all the pictures you put on Instagram of the pre-run, stuff that you're doing.
Yeah, I'm going to go down probably May 7th for 5 days and just get I run like really detailed course notes. It's similar to rally notes, so I'll probably just get like a baseline for 5 days, and then I'll probably go back down probably 12 days race and race everything out, get a very good plan going for race day. The 500 is my favorite race. There hasn't been a year in the last 8 years that I haven't ended up on the podium. As long as I didn't have a mechanical difficulty, I'm usually second, third, or I win the thing. So it's just the right amount of race. It's 9.5 hours of sprinting, which is it's just a lot of fun. The race course is a lot of fun. It's very, very dangerous. It's very fast. It's a race course, and I look forward to it.
Well, BJ, Brian, thanks so much for calling in. It's been a pleasure to have you on the GotBypass.com off-road report, and love this film. I'm going to try to figure out how to do the same thing with my drag car.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you guys very much. Make sure you check out GotBypass.com. BJ, we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Now, we're going to go into a product review of a LAT racing oil filter, and this is a filter you can use
There we go.
on your drag car, your off-road vehicle. You can jump models in your trophy truck using LAT oil filters. Check it out.
LAT.
Hey, Lucky here from Speed Scene Live TV. A couple times on the Speed Scene Live show, I've talked about a great new product from LAT Racing Oils. This is the reusable oil filter for your car, which you can put on your car. You can use it over and over. You can open it up and check it out. You've got this great product here. A filter built in. You can see what's going through your motor. So if there's a little bit of metal shavings coming through, you can catch it and you can know what's happening before it becomes a problem. I'm going to put this filter on my car. You screw it together. It's got this little detent pin in here, and what that does is this little pin right here, you press it in, you screw it together, and it locks in place, and it won't come off while it's on the car. Positive locking. Hey, you don't have to worry about it. But when you do want to take it apart, it's really easy to get apart. They also have this great little tool that you can put on the end for when you want to change the oil filters. You can stick a wrench on it. You can stick a ratchet. Goes right on. And that makes it easy to take the filter on and off. Pull it off, put it in your toolbox. You got this great looking filter. You can pick this up at latracingoils.com. We're going to go ahead and do an oil change. We're going to use some of the LAT Racing Oil 5-weight 30. We're going to put this on the Speed Scene Live Nova, and we're going to go racing. So check out LAT at latracingoils.com. Check out this great filter. You buy it once, it's going to last you for the rest of your life. LATRacingOils.com. Let's go put it on the race car right now. All right, first thing I did, I jacked up the car, of course. I pulled the front end off the car earlier today. Always put jack stands under this baby. You got to be safe. You know, you don't want somebody coming out here and finding your crushed body a couple days later. A couple of good jack stands, just jacked up in the air. First thing I got to do is pull off the diaper. Let's do it. I've got the diaper off. I use the diaper from Taylor Motorsports. Taylor really makes a superior motor diaper. The reason they're so good is because they fit so good. You know, I know there's a lot of inexpensive motor diapers on the market, one size fits all, and when you put them on, man, they flop all over when you're going down the track. The Taylor Motorsports diaper fits snug, goes right up under the pan, everything's contoured correctly, and when I strap it up, nothing's hanging down. Hey, I've got my oil filter ready to go on. Now I'm just going to pour a little bit of LAT oil inside before I install it, and of course I took my finger, put a little oil right over the rubber seal. Let's put this on. Now, you know, a lot of guys know how to change their oil, okay? It's not my job to, or my intent to tell you how to change your oil, and everyone knows you always put a little oil inside the oil filter.
Did you just spill some there, Lucky?
Maybe a little bit. That's why I was using that white rag around the microphone, because I didn't want to get oil on it. But, you know, so I'm not trying to tell you, hey, this is how you change your oil. All I want to do is let you know that, hey, when I say I'm using it on the car, it's going on that Curry rear ends Hedman car. Well, I'm putting it on the car, okay? This is it. The same oil filter is on Dynamite's Nova, and we use them, and we use the LAT racing oils. So, hey, you know how to change your oil. I'm not telling you how. I'm just showing you what I do. Before I button it up, let's see if I can get a shot of it on the motor here. It's kind of hard to see because it kind of blends in with the good-looking Hedman Hustler headers I got on there. If we can get the camera in here real close. I'm probably going to block off the light. There it is. That's what the LAT racing oil filter looks like installed on your motor. Pretty nice, huh? All right, so there you have it. All I got left to do now is put that Taylor Motorsports diaper back on the car, strap it up tight, add the rest of the LAT racing oils right here, and I'll be ready to go with better oil, better filter, and now my motor's better protected, and you never have to buy another oil filter. Pretty cool deal. Thanks to LAT Racing Oils. Check them out on the web at LATRacingOils.com. They have a store right there on the site. Click that store link, and it'll take you right to the page where you can buy those oil filters and the oil. Don't forget they also have a full line of ATF and other lubricants.
Man, that's a pretty fit. I know I shouldn't judge it on its looks, but it's pretty.
Well, we had that in studio, remember?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, and
I
it was
want it.
pretty and shiny and hard, and I was like, ooh, I want this on my car.
It is a beautiful, well-designed piece, and I looked at it. I showed it to a lot of people before I put it on the car, and then I put it on the car, and it was, you know, there's no hassle, no special adapters. It just went right on. So
and you'll never have to buy another oil filter, Lucky.
I like that. I like that, you know, and
it's nice to be able to see what's inside, right?
Well, that's the best thing.
That's
you can take it
huge.
apart, and if there's a little bit of bearing material,
you get a problem.
You know, or
before it becomes a problem.
Piece of rocker arm, you know. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's funny too because a lot of old cars have a canister style, a bit similar to that, but it's a much more troublesome mount sometimes to get the gasket to seal.
Yeah, because they're sheet metal.
Yeah, and they could get dented and they get warped, and then you can't seal it up against the motor. And man, this is a beautiful piece.
Like the 55 Chevy with the 265 V8
with the aftermarket, with the remote filter up on top because they didn't have a filter on the block in 55.
Yeah, and there's a Ford 289 parked downstairs. Same thing, man. It's got that sheet metal can that it's a pain to get seated right.
You going to start that thing up here, Lucky?
Well, you know, I think I should because, you know, like I saw in a trailer up at Bakersfield on the back, it said drag racing, turning money into noise.
Yeah.
So we got to have some noise, right?
Sound of horsepower.
That's a beautiful thing.
So
What are the neighbors doing right now?
They're making their own noise. I think one of them's got a bobcat tearing up the wall. We all got it. We got a guy that does road racing and Panteras behind us. We're all good. The policeman across the street likes loud Harleys.
There you go.
Perfect neighborhood.
Well, that's a good thing considering it's a policeman across the street.
Well, I'm a big fan of racing, and we were talking about the Irwindale deal, but I'm also a big fan of food, especially Cuban food. And let's talk to one of the gentlemen that's involved with the Telemundo car, and we're going to talk about, how do you pronounce this restaurant?
It's Versailles, and I go to the one on Pico in L.A.
Oh, muy bueno. Me gusta de medianoche.
No, me gusta la ropa vieja or the picadillo. That's what I like.
Do not look for the subtitles. I don't know, but don't look for the subtitles at the bottom of the page.
Yeah, all you're going to see is a Bob Beck Speed Scene Live.
Bob will go, I want number 3.
Yeah, okay, let's take a look at that right now. Here we go. Versailles.
Hey, the favorite part of the 52 car is that Cuban food, Versailles. Huh? Si. Carlos Montani. Not to be confused with Tony Montana, man. Huh?
I'm not Tony Montana.
What are you doing with your name on the side of this car?
It's a fantastic opportunity for us to be part of this great Uli Perez racing car.
How many locations do you have in Southern California, and where are they at?
We got 4 of them. But our main one is on Venice Boulevard, in the corner of Venice and Overland. And then we have on Pico Boulevard, Manhattan Beach, and Ventura Boulevard. We got 4 locations.
4 locations, folks. That means, hey, he's out here supporting the racers, so we need to get down to his restaurants and support him.
Yes, great food, and Diana recommends it highly. So like Donnie says, support the companies that support racing. A couple weeks...
He took my line. I'm the one that always says that, Lucky.
Okay, can you say it in Spanish? No.
She probably can. It's like, hey, no problem, whatever.
Hey, let's talk to a gentleman, Ryan Partridge, who actually ended up winning his class out of Irwindale last weekend.
Okay, back with Ryan Partridge. Ryan, you've been out there several times today tuning this car in preparation for next weekend.
Yeah.
What's the adjustments now?
Right now, we're just trying to find that sweet spot with ride height. This is a free spring car, it's called, which means it sits on its own springs as it travels down to the ground. It doesn't have any travel limiting devices like bump stops to keep it from hitting the racetrack. Now, so that's ultimate scenario. You want to be able to make ride height through tech, so you're not illegal, but when you're on the racetrack, you want to come down and just kiss the racetrack. Not beat into the racetrack so you're moving up the hill, but you want lowest CG as possible. So that's just a fine-tuned deal we're playing with right now. What's throwing us off a little bit is we have 2 different sets of tires, and they're a little different sizes, so we have to compensate for the bigger tires, need less ride height, and so far and so forth.
So it's a spec car, so when you go through tech, I mean, they're going through everything.
Oh, everything.
How often does things get caught in this class? They keeping it clean out here, or we have those ones that want to push the button?
No, push the button is okay. Push the button is my job as a driver to make the tech official keep them chasing, keep them running for his money. It's okay to fudge the gray areas. There's blatant cheating, absolutely unacceptable. But something like they have a 4-inch minimum ride height. 3 and 15 16ths, 4 and a 6. You want right there. You want to be able to squeeze the block under the car, but you don't want to give them too much.
Okay, well, we'll let Ryan and his crew get back to service in this car, and he's up for another practice shortly.
All right, nice job, Donnie Couch. Look at that. Ooh.
Yeah, it's fun to see guys working on the cars and adjusting the shocks. As drag guys, we don't work that hard on that kind of stuff.
That's just you, Lucky. I've seen some people work pretty hard.
No, you're saying I'm a slacker?
No. I mean, think of Jerry over at Crazy Connie's Pits. He's always wrenching it, and
Well, that's true. Well, Dynamite, it's time for what's going on. I think we ran out of time.
I think we did.
We're to talk about one and done tonight.
Oh, well, we'll have to talk about that next week, Lucky. There's always plenty of time. What's going on is brought to you by Curry Racing Rear Ends. Curry's got your rear end ready and waiting for you. Also brought to you by Hedman Hustler Headers.
And DragRaceResults.com. The guy in charge of Drag Race Results just won the Spring Fling out of Las Vegas last weekend.
All right, don't forget Andra's season opener. Get your butchie Check out the free barbecue for the racers April 19th and 21st at famous Famoso Raceway this coming weekend.
Hey, Bob, don't forget that you can watch that stream live at quartermileproductions.net.
Nice.
Yeah, and April 27th, 28th, NHRA Sunflower Nationals opens at Great Bend, Kansas.
Hey, the Long Beach Grand Prix is this Friday through Sunday, and I'm going to be out there with racers who care. I'm not going to be racing. I'm going to be out hanging out with kids, giving them tours, showing them the facility, and exposing the upcoming generation to the world of racing.
And let's not forget NMCA West. That's going to be at Pomona. That's what? Southern California's hot track. That's going to be May 16th through the 19th.
And Roger Gustafson, Mardi Gras Night of Fire race at State Capitol Raceway, May 3rd to the 5th, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Schooled by Scotty's class at Cap Rock Motorplex, Powell, Texas, May 10th and 12th.
Well, you know, we're going to have to put that one-and-done footage on next week's show. We've also got Darr Hawthorne coming in next week. He is going to talk about upcoming drag race, and, man, we got a whole bunch of stuff.
We just ran out of time, Lucky, but we had a blast. We had a great show. Hope all you loved it.
Indeed. Man, and of course, Bob, great to see you in studio for the Great American Auto Scene.
Always a pleasure to be here.
All right, Lucky and Diana Mite, we'll see you guys in some form in the next week or 2 or 5.
Hey, Bruce, let's see that wide-angle shot one time. I don't know if we got to use it tonight.
I don't know if we did.
I want to just kind of... Put that studio shot out there so everybody can see.
I can't believe that we didn't get to see that even once.
You know, we'll have to talk to that cameraman.
That's right. The camera operator.
Yeah. The whole crew.
Now, I hope everybody enjoyed the new, if you're watching it on your phone, the new live stream. We fixed the audio. It sounds like it's working great. Everybody says it sounds good. Bruce, good job on that.
And we fixed the commercials.
Yeah, that's really important.
You guys don't have to sit through those Ustream commercials. So come back next week. Tell your friends. Tune in every week if you missed any of the show. Visit it on the archives page.
Yeah, and coming up next, of course, the encore presentation of this very same show. And by all means, come back next week. We'll be right here. All right, good night.
Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online motorsports TV show. Brought to you by Curry Racing Rear Ends, M&H Tires, and TheFoe.com.